Well, you join me as I'm lighting a candle. It's good to see you, and what we're looking at today is the Song of Songs. So, why are you lighting a candle, Sam? Well, if you're stuck for knowing what to do in a church, light a candle. Covers a multitude of questions and not quite knowing how to respond. I mean, how do you find an image that sums up a beautiful, erotic, revealing book like the Song of Songs? In many ways, it's an image itself. It's designed to explore things beyond words by using poetic imagery through words to help us grasp something of the power of God's love and intimacy. It's deeply explicit. And I think because of that, too often we make kind of jokes about it. We make light of it because we don't quite know what to do with it. It's not what we're expecting. It makes us feel uncomfortable. It's certainly not the kind of thing you can read out loud with your grandparents in the room. But actually, it's profound, it's deep, it's powerful, and it's moving because it takes us to the heart of who we are. It takes us to the heart of what creation is all about. And it takes us to the heart of who God is and gives us an image of what our relationship with Him is like. It's a short but beautiful book which exposes a very great deal. It is, as I say, explicit. If you read chapter 4, the person starts with a description of his beloved, which starts at the top of the head, talking about hair and eyes, and it works its way down the physical form, shall we say. And there are no clothes, so you get all of the details in beautiful language. It's a recognition of something of how we as humans are made in the image of God. It's almost, if you like, a reversal of Eden, back to how things were at the beginning, where God proclaims over male and female that He has created, that it's good, that human flesh is good. And there's certainly a celebration in the Song of Songs of the goodness of the physical form, not in a cheap or demeaning way, but in a way that almost recognizes the holiness, the otherness of a person, and the beauty of their physical form. It's also something about covenant as well. Shortly, we're going to embark on a journey through the prophets, beginning with Isaiah all the way down to Malachi. And throughout, there's unfaithfulness. It's there in Hosea 8, the image of a prostitute. It's there, the unfaithful one in Jeremiah as well. And it's there in Ezekiel as well, down through the centuries. Each of those prophets from a different century using that image of unfaithfulness to describe the way in which Israel has broken its relationship with God. But here we have a celebration of the goodness of that relationship. It's like a vision, if you will, of how it should be, not of stuff defiled, humanity defiled, but rather a celebration of its beauty, a vision of how things will be. And that for me is incredibly powerful. You know, struggling with what it means to be human, to be flesh, to relate to others who are flesh, to be a sexual being, whether we're in a sexual relationship with someone else or not, how to make sense of all of that, to steward it wisely, to celebrate the goodness of it, to deal with memories and experiences that have not been wholesome, that have not been good. Well, here in these pages is an exploration of what that goodness might look like and a reminder that God is interested in all of those things, that His salvation, that His work of redemption includes all of those things. It's a celebration of how creation should be. It's a celebration of that covenant relationship between God and humanity, of how things should be. And it also gives place for desire and for passion and for longing. All of those things which we become nervous about, when they're rightly ordered, are celebrated for the good that they are. That power, that potential, that energy is rightly celebrated when it's found in its right place. Well, what is that right place? Well, it's in a beautiful and intimate relationship with God, which is described in the Song of Songs in really physical terms. It's similar at the end of the scriptures, the Christian scriptures, at the end of Revelation, there's a picture of a banquet and of celebration and of the bride and the bridegroom. Well, this is like going on the honeymoon with them to see more of that intimacy and not just physical intimacy. As many people discover, the physical intimacy is easy in some ways. What's harder is the deeper kind of intimacy, which the physical stuff is an expression of, that deep emotional intimacy of being fully known, warts and all, and yet still fully loved. Where everything is revealed, there are no secrets, everything is exposed, and yet we are accepted and embraced and loved and delighted in. What a wonderful vision of what it means to be in relationship with God, his intimate longing for us, and his longing for us to enjoy that kind of acceptance, that kind of love. That's why the Song of Songs was recited annually by the Jewish people as part of their worship. At what festival, you might ask? Well, actually, at the festival of Passover, as the Israelites celebrate coming through the coming through out of slavery in Egypt, through the Exodus. This book is read as they celebrate their freedom. They're celebrating the freedom of this relationship with God. They've come out of being exploited by a Pharaoh. They're now in God's hands. How will God deal with them? Will he be a divine Pharaoh? No, he'll be a divine lover. That's why in that verse I've given you there in the description, chapter 8, verse 7, it talks about how rivers cannot quench love, floods cannot drown it. The people of Israel have passed through the waters as they've escaped from Egypt, and they now find themselves in the hands of their lover, one who will defend them, one who will lead them, but one who longs for them to journey deep into intimacy with him. It's a wonderful invitation for all of us who look to God, for all of us who have questions about ourselves, about other people and what they've done to us or what they might do to us, about the world and what the world does to people. Come on, God, what's it all about? Well, the Song of Songs offers us a beautiful vision of what it's supposed to be all about. Our relationship of intimacy, of belonging, of being known by God, and of how we might explore that relationship with each other. So treasure the Song of Songs. Don't just skip through it. Don't laugh it off. Don't make light of it. Read it, meditate upon it, and treasure all that it points to. Like these flames, it reveals deep passion, deep potential, deep power. It's designed to help us burn brightly, to release all of that energy deep within us that we know not how to steward. With God, it all finds its place.